What's going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture, bringing you a quick video today to talk about something really interesting that I see happening within the comic book industry right now that I think is very important for collectors to look at and for the industry as a whole to look at, and that's talking about the movement towards online selling, specifically for LCS stores. Before I get into that, guys, I want to make a couple announcements. One, my contests are still running, guys. I'm about 30 subscribers away from 3,000. So I'm just ecstatic to get this contest announced, but we still have time. If you haven't entered the contest yet, again, go find my 3K sub contest video. If you look through my videos, it's not that far down. Watch that video, see what you need to do. It is not that hard to get entered. So check that out, guys. I also have my Patreon only contest still going right now. That's going to run until we get 20 Patreons. I currently have 6. So again, it's $3.99 a month to sign up. Info is below. You can find the link. Basically, $3.99 a month. The cost of one comic book to help support the channels, as well as get some extra perks, and you get entered into my Patreon only contest where you can win this beautiful Tales to Astonish 91 8.0 white pages and some other prizes that I will be announcing in the near future. Also, you get extra entries into the 3K contest if you become a patron. So I also want to remind everyone that I have official merch launched. I was rocking the shirt in one of my videos earlier this week. I'll be showing off some more of the merch later on in the next couple of weeks or so. But link to my merchandise website is below as well, guys. Check that out. Really affordable prices, really quality stuff. So I wanted to let everyone know about all those goodies. But with that being said, let's talk briefly, guys, about LCSs, specifically moving online, guys. Now, I was recently having some discussions about the health of the industry. I did a video on it, and ultimately I argued about the health of the industry being very healthy right now. Now, of course, you know, we probably want to look at the health of the industry pre-COVID up to the beginning of this year. COVID is something that happened, we didn't see coming, and it's just a fact of reality right now. And of course, this has brought on a lot of different detriments or even elements that we have to navigate through. And some people have been able to see this as making a what do they say? You give me lemons, make lemonade type of a thing where, we adapt, right? There's a lot of adaptation going on. And I look at this from looking at it as a perspective of the natural evolution, not taking into consideration COVID, and looking at where we were at with COVID, and that's moving online. All right. And especially more now with COVID. I'm going to give A1 Comics as an example. A1 Comics, who have 3 locations in the greater Sacramento area, right? They had to shut down just like everyone else in March, right? And then they adapted doing curbside pickups when the stores and the lobbies were still closed. And then what did they do? They really utilized online. Now, when I talk about utilizing online, we can look at the 2 avenues of online. One of those is social media. The other is specifically a website, right? When you look at the social media aspect of it, there's 2 ways to look at that. There's one, having a presence on social media. That in and of itself is a marketing scheme, right? The second, when it comes to social media, is selling on social media. So social media presence, actually selling on social media. What does selling on social media look like? Well, I've talked about this before too. For the most part, it can look like doing live stream sales, whether on Facebook or whether on Instagram, right? But it also can look like, say, setting up bid auctions on Facebook group forums. This might be a lot of more work for LCSs rather than, say, individual sales, where it can work more for them, but the options are still there. And then we look at the website. And I think the website specifically, even if you're not utilizing social media to sell, the website is huge, guys. When we look at companies such as Midtown Comics, who you guys might know I have my issues with, but you can't eliminate the percentage of the market that they have for the online sales. But then you look at My Comic Shop, right? And there's also, Mile High that still has, an online presence and whatnot. But a huge bulk of Midtown's and My Comic Shop's business is online through their website and through eBay. And that's a third element that I haven't brought up yet. So my thing is this. When you look at a company like A1, right, who's in Sacramento, they have 3 stores. They have their foot planted in the ground as a solidified brick and mortar in their area. But how do you reach a bigger audience? You have to utilize online. And from doing research, as well as knowing from myself, and don't get me wrong, I frequent my LCS stores as much as I can. But there's an element of buying online that is very privy to a lot of collectors these days, whether it's from the website, from eBay, or from social media. So I would encourage LCSs to try to utilize some of their resources in moving them online. So when you ask, well, what do resources look like, and how do I utilize resources to do this? Because online marketing in all of these variables is extremely time consuming and takes a lot of work. So what do? You have to look at your workforce. You have to look at your workforce. You have to look at your labor hours, and you have to allocate a certain amount of hours to dedicating it to making a presence online, whether that's building up your website or building up an eBay and taking the time to put listings on eBay, or whether it's having a social media presence, right? So you really got to say, it's going to be worth it to me because of revenue coming in to allocate some labor hours to doing something like that. Another thing that you can do is you can hire a third party, say, graphic designer to to do the graphic design of the website, to do the coding of the website. But we live in a day and age now where you could go to Wix and you could go to a lot of these other what is it, like Wibby or something like that, companies that you can actually build a solidified website without having to do HTML or CSS coding and whatnot. And it's really easy. Like almost anybody that just knows how to operate a computer can actually build a website through these third-party companies like Wix. And all you need to do is pay $10, $12 for a domain name. Like me, if I was to do an online store, journoscomics.com or something like that, right? So there's all these variables that I think it is very imperative for LCSs to at least consider and ponder right now, especially taking into consideration COVID. Either you're probably in a situation where you have limited hours, you're limiting the foot traffic in your store, or maybe you're still hurting from having to shut down for a certain amount of months earlier in the year. So how do you look at building another stream of revenue that is feasible? And like I said, it's going to take labor, it's going to take assets, and it's going to take time and money to utilize these streams of revenue, right? But I'm telling you guys, if you are an LCS owner, an LCS manager, or somebody that works at an LCS to any capacity, I would talk with the higher ups, talk with management, talk with ownership, and really consider these options right now. I mean, other elements that you could take away from this is doing online pull list, right? Or pre-sales. Take advantage of getting a pull list or a pre-sale market where you offer them a discount, right? So, say you do an online pull list, you offer them, maybe 10 or 15% off of cover price. Or maybe, you look at if you get one to three books a month, you get 10% off and you pay a flat, maybe $5 shipping fee, right? But then if you do like 3 to 6 or 4 to 6 books or 4 to 7 books, you could get 15% off of your pull list a month. If you do 7 to 10, it's and so forth. You could do a point system online, right? Or you could do a pre-order and gauge. You could do like a 25 to 35% off a cover price, like my comic shop does, and you can maybe even gauge how you can order your inventory from diamond months in advance, right? Which can ultimately save you money by understanding what you need to order without doing too much over ordering and having a lot of stuff sit, because you already have the revenue stream coming in for a certain amount of issues doing pre-sales. Guys, I'm just cracking the surface. There's a lot of ways to do this. And there is the live stream sales too, but that does take a lot of work. But look, guys, if you're willing to put in the work, if you are savvy enough to utilize social media in that way, I'm telling you, it's worth it. I've seen folks do it. So big shout out to A1 Comics, because they're making it happen. And I was sitting in on their live stream last night, and they do live sales every Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And just the way that they're doing it is amazing. So again, I recommend everyone to check out their live streams if you haven't yet. Their link to their website and to their Instagram is below, guys, for you to check them out. But again, for anybody out there that is affiliated with any type of LCS, I'm telling you, have the conversation. There's other streams of revenue that can come in for local LCSs around the country, around the world, that can take advantage of these things now. And me as a hobbyist and as a collector, I want to see the brick and mortars thrive, especially during these tough times of COVID. So, guys, it's all about adapting, right? So let me know what you guys thought. That's my video for today. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, guys. Check out all the links below to my merch, to my contests, A1 Comics, a lot of other affiliated YouTube content creators that are doing awesome things. Be well, guys. Leave some comments and let me know what you guys thought. And until next time.